This is To the Rescue Authentic Networking, and I'm Jennifer Johnson, Executive Director of TTR Networking and Relationship Marketing Coach. This show is all about authentic business networking know-how, relationship building, and the success strategies used by our members to grow their businesses and to give back to local nonprofits. Be sure to stay up to date. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell to get the notifications. Oh, yeah, and please visit our website, ttrnetworking.com. We are TTR Networking. We're industry-exclusive networking groups. We meet weekly to share easy relationship marketing tools, fun, entertaining, and informative events and fundraising. We are so glad you're here. Now on with the show.
Welcome to the Rescue Authentic Networking. My name is Nicole Williams with my co-host Jennifer Johnson.
Hello.
We are so glad you are here with us today. We have a great show. We wanted to give a great shout out to send out cards. They are just wonderful during this time, the social distancing. They are still hard at work. We create cards, heartfelt cards for family, friends, acquaintances, just anybody who just might need a card to cheer them up, and send out cards. It's working hard. They're there, get them out, and it's just awesome. If you would like a card on us for free, you can reach out to sendoutcards.com/thankful single mama. Thank you, Jennifer, for holding that up. And how are you today, Jennifer?
I'm really good. Yeah, thankful single mama. MOMMA. That's cool. But that is, yeah, they can send a card on us. I'm doing really well. I would just say that, this whole pandemic, I want to say it's just pandemic.
Yeah.
I don't know. Darn, this thing is just so nasty. But keeping everybody in prayer constantly. So, I mean, we're good. I've gotten a lot of time to spend with my husband. Our kids are all grown doing their thing, so we've had a lot of time. And I'm not going to complain about that, but there's just a lot of sadness and what's the question? Uncertainty out there. So I would just say keep everybody in prayer. And we've talked about it. Our guest today actually can probably add so much to this whole thing. And we're going to introduce him, but the Serenity Prayer. And I don't have I know it, but the Serenity Prayer keeps me grounded. The whole thing, here it is. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And those are tough. That's tough. We can't control what happens. We can certainly control how we respond to it, right? So we're going to keep making these shows and hopefully being a little bit of a bright light in people's day and keep everybody focused on the positive. You know what? How are you? Because you were talking about the cards. You just did a big project with your...
Yeah, nursing home project. My girls and I have two girls, freshman in high school and senior in high school. And it was neat. They kind of taught me some things on the web with doing the cards. And so we reached out to 150 nursing home folks. And it just broke our heart that, some don't even have family that visit, but, the ones that do have families aren't allowed inside. The nursing home residents can't leave, so to be able just to put a little note in there, sending you hugs and hope and, flower on the cover, just really meant a lot to us. And we're just so thankful for the nursing home caretakers, the nurses, the doctors, just everybody, just out there that is like still working and putting their lives out there, to help us. We're so thankful.
Well, I give you a lot of credit for including your daughters, and they're a freshman and a senior, and you got them to do something like that.
Yeah, they love it. Yeah, they're crafty.
And I actually think a lot of kids are looking for neat things like that to do. So
Yeah.
if they want to reach out to us,
Yeah.
you and I, we could definitely tell them about that. But today we are joined by Adam Hiatt, who's a financial advisor with Edward Jones in Fishers, Indiana. And he and his wife, Lauren, and their 4 kids, you know, when he told me that, 4 kids, oh my God. And you're homeschooling right now, aren't you?
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, you guys actually live in Pendleton, Indiana, which is not too far from Fishers. But Adam, you know what? Thank you so much for being here today. We really do. We're very happy to have you here. And thank you. Yeah, you look all nice and cleaned up. Are you actually working out of your home now too?
I can work from home. I've been doing a lot from home. We're considered essential, so I could still go into the office as well. But obviously, we're not meeting face-to-face with clients right now. So I'm doing a lot from home.
Yeah, cool. Well, it looks like a nice home as far as we can see. So you're Adam Hiatt, you're Edward Jones. You can tell us, I mean, I'm sure you can share a little bit more about what that actually, because we've seen the Edward Jones, I mean, most of us have, I think. Yeah. And maybe you can give us a little background on how you ended up doing what you're doing with Edward Jones and how this COVID-19 thing is affecting your business, because I'm sure you've got a lot to share.
Yeah. So my journey to Edward Jones is a little bit of a unique one. At Edward Jones, my job is to connect primarily with individuals, but we work with small businesses as well to help grow and retain and strategize ways to distribute their wealth. And so it's a deep personal connection with the clients that I connect with. And so before I came to Edward Jones, I was a pastor for 8.5 years at a church in Hamilton County, and loved being in ministry. And when I was transitioning away from ministry, I knew that I wanted to go to something that would allow me to continue to connect in a deep way with the clients that I served. And I felt like after talking to a very good friend of mine who had been with the firm for over 15 years, that I'd be able to do that at Edward Jones, and that absolutely has been the case. So I transitioned out of ministry in the summer of 2018. So been doing being a financial advisor at Edward Jones for almost 2 years, about 1.5 years now, and I absolutely love it. I love what I get to do, to connect with people every day, and really be invited into very meaningful, intimate conversations in their lives as they talk about their wealth. And, when we talk about those things, it dovetails into other different personal things that we talk about as well, which I very much value those things. And so to be invited into those moments with clients is very special. So been a financial advisor at Edward Jones, like I said, for about 1.5 years. My office is in Fishers. And obviously the COVID-19 coronavirus issue has had an impact for sure. As you can imagine, with the economy suffering the way that it has been and the stock market dropping the way that it has, we've had a lot of concerned clients. But it's also given us the opportunity to have a lot of meaningful conversations. And I feel a lot of sense of purpose and calling in what I'm doing as I'm talking with someone that may be calling in very fearful, and after a 15 or 20 minute conversation leaves feeling very different and with a renewed sense of passion for what they're doing and perspective and vision for the long term. And I feel that that's a valuable position to be in. So it's definitely impacted our business. We've had to shift to doing more video calls like this, or just traditional phone calls. But we're definitely looking forward to the time that we can sit down and meet face to face with our clients once again.
It's cool. That's really cool. I was sitting here thinking, isn't it so nice to know there's people out here that can talk to us about financial stuff, and that's the passion that hearing what he's saying. Oh my gosh. Nicole, take it away.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so our show is all about being authentic, and we were wondering what authentic means to you.
Yeah, I think the word authentic means that you're the same all the time, whether someone's looking or not, that you are true to who you are all the time. And being someone that's trying to pursue authenticity in my life today, I think doing what you say you're going to do, acting in the way that you say that you are going to act, and honoring your word goes a long way, especially in the marketplace today.
That's a good answer. I really like that. I wish everybody would do that, right? being the same or being who you are all the time, it takes a little bit of courage. It takes a little bit of, how long did you say, Adam, you've been with Edward Jones again? How many years?
Almost 2 years.
Okay. 2 years. Because it takes a little time to build your business. I mean, right? So
it does. Yeah. And for me, a lot of the clientele that I work with today, I've had a previous relationship with through the church. And so it took some time to demonstrate to them that even though they knew me as a pastor, that I had learned a lot and had grown and knew what I was talking about and could provide value and some quality perspective. So it took some conversations to have that happen, but it has, and now momentum is really rolling along, and I'm really loving what I'm doing.
Good, because actually I was going to say that's a good point. I was just going to ask the question we always ask is, how do you find new business in your industry? And your situation is a little unique because people, not that you wouldn't find it from people but they knew you through the church. So now you're in a different capacity, even though you still are it's very personal situation, but to prove to them that you had the knowledge and the ability to go from being their pastor now to being their financial advisor.
Yeah. And it's a delicate conversation to have, because I don't want to take advantage of a previous relationship of a spiritual nature. And so what I did early on was I always believed that using my personal network would be far more effective than trying to establish brand new relationships. And so I reached out to a lot of folks that I knew and just simply informed them on what I was doing.
Right.
And just left the ball in their court and said, if you'd like to have a deeper conversation on this, I'd love to talk to you about it. And thankfully I've had quite a few that have, and they form the core of my clientele base today. And
so then they basically refer you to others, because who wouldn't want to sit down with somebody who has the background that you have and the pleasant. I mean, every time I've ever sat in a meeting with you or was at the meeting, it was like, yeah, this guy's pretty cool.
Oh, thank you.
You feel very comfortable. So, but that was the question. You just answered it with flying colors, I think. So
thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, we were wondering, how did you find To the Rescue Networking, TTR?
TTR, yeah.
Yeah, it was actually a friend of a friend attended our group, and I attend the Biz Builders group on Tuesday mornings in Fishers, and it's a great group of people. I've been attending for about 9 months, and I've really enjoyed my connection there. Everyone's wonderful. But this friend of a friend reached out and said that the group was looking for someone from the finance world to be a part of the group. And that's honestly what initially attracted me to the group, was that it was industry specific. And I knew that if I became a member of this group, that I didn't have to compete with 4 or 5 other financial advisors in the same group. So he invited me to come. I checked it out for a couple of weeks and then had a sit down meeting with the woman who runs the meeting, and had a great connection, and just really have enjoyed it. It's been a great group of people, and I'm thankful to be there.
Cool.
Let's see. Could you do you have a story from a relationship with TTR or somebody, or something that resulted of TTR referral? Or
we certainly don't want anybody to feel pressure to make something up, so don't tell us the story.
No, I actually do. I mean, with the nature of our business, I can't share names, but
sure.
Yeah.
But I've been privileged enough to be able to sit down with to have a one-on-one meeting with almost every person in the group. And I've had a couple of those already that have converted over to actually becoming clients, and have received some referrals to family members or friends of theirs that they knew were looking for an advisor as well. So it's been a very effective place to get plugged in. And I took the approach, and I heard it said very early on when I started attending, that you need to come to give to the group, not just to take. And so I tried to adopt that mindset. And early on, the first few weeks, I was just trying to connect as many people as I could with others. And then then the referral started to come my way, and that was very helpful. So yeah, it's been a very productive group, and I'm looking forward to the future with it as well.
Good. That's exciting. All of our groups, I'm just happy to hear that. I'm just hoping you don't feel like, it definitely takes a little while to get, just like your business, it took a little while to get that going, but once you do, and people know that you're very, very capable of handling their finances, it doesn't take long for that to happen. And you came in with the right idea too. But we do the nonprofit stuff. I don't know that I've ever talked to you on that. Do you have any particular nonprofits that you like to support? I don't know if you have any that you're really involved in, your family, or just dear to your heart, whatever.
Yeah, well, my family and I are plugged in at Heartland Church in Fishers, which is our home, and that's where we do a lot of giving as well, and give back to the local and global community through there. But looking at specific nonprofits, one that's near and dear to my heart is called Purposeful Living Inc.
Yeah, yes.
It's based in Carmel, and Nadine McGowan is a good friend, and she's the executive director. And it's really centered around the health and well-being of women in Hamilton County. And so they do a great job of just tending to the spiritual, physical, emotional needs of women. And I sat on one of the boards for the organization for a while. I don't currently, but very passionate about what they're doing. We also have a connection in our group to the Special Olympics of Hamilton County, and I think that's another extremely important one, as it empowers and equips young adults with special needs to grow in their confidence and to develop connection with others, and I just think it's really important.
Cool. I don't know that I knew about the Special Olympics. I'm very familiar with Purposeful Living, so that's cool. And we'll have their website in the notes of the show too. So,
Great.
Nicole, did we miss anything?
Yeah, I was going to ask Adam, how can our guests contact you? How can we find you?
Yeah, honestly, the easiest way is just to go onto Google, type in Adam Hiatt Edward Jones, and you'll get all of my information that will pop up right there. You'll see a map of where my office is. You'll have the phone number, my email address. Everything will be right there. And once we get on the other side of all of this virus stuff, I'd love to connect face-to-face and get to know anyone that's interested in connecting in that way.
That's cool. Yeah, that was funny because I don't know if I've ever had a guest say that you can go Google me and then I'll pop up that way and then you can find me a bunch of.
Well, rather than rattling off all the phone numbers and email address, I figured that would be the easiest way.
I think it definitely is. And, we talked before this. This show, actually, we're recording it on Good Friday. And obviously Good Friday is, Easter weekend, and Easter, the whole Holy Week, everything has been just totally different than anybody would have anticipated because of this whole virus thing. And I was talking to Adam, or we were messaging back and forth, that it would be nice, because of his pastoral background, if he could kind of leave us, even though the show won't be out until a week from now or more. But I think we just need some hope, and not that you have to be, don't in your group, I know you've been talking about the financial picture. You've updated us every time as we've been doing the online calls, because of all of our groups doing online calls now. You've kept everybody pretty well in tune with what's going on there. But final thoughts, can you tie the financial and the pastoral and give us maybe some hope for the future, I hope?
Yeah, I would, to make a tie between the two, there's a phrase in the Bible that's very common today, that this too shall pass. The season that we're in right now, globally, economically, financially, is affecting a lot of people. It's affecting my family. It's affecting many people in a negative way. But we know this isn't the end. This isn't where the story ends, that we are going to get on the other side of this from an economic standpoint and from a financial standpoint. And so to continue to press forward and to apply that to, with today being Good Friday, Easter being on Sunday, the story, wasn't over on Good Friday. I mean, Jesus was not crucified and stayed dead. He rose again, and that's what we celebrate on Easter. And so the hope that gives us is that where we find ourselves today isn't the end. It's not the end of the story, that you can have hope. And I think in this culture, especially now with everything that's going on with the virus, where a lot of us are isolated and it's hard to have genuine connections with people, number one, I would stress to try to strive to do that in any way possible, to prioritize talking with others, whether it's over the phone or over a video call, what have you. Community is important, and that connection is important. But I think this context that we're in now can leave a lot of people feeling isolated, lonely, without hope. And the hope of Easter is something for me that every year rejuvenates me. I feel like it comes at just the right time to remind me that what's happening in our day-to-day world today isn't the only story, that there is an upper story that matters more, and that it's not the end. And the hope that we can have, I believe, through Christ can help propel us forward and to give us a worldview that puts a lot of what we're experiencing in our culture today in perspective. So you are not alone. God is with you. He loves you very much. And this Easter, my hope is that you would feel that and sense that in a very deep way.
Good answer.
Wow.
I think you said it all. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it was a pleasure to be with you guys today. Thanks for
you're welcome. You've left us both just in a nice full mode. Yeah, that's wonderful. That was exactly what I was hoping you'd say, something like that. So thank you very much. Go ahead, Nicole.
Thank you. Thank you. As we wrap this show up, Jennifer, any final thoughts or quote? Nope. can't compete with that.
No, we can't compete with that. Adam went well beyond what I expected. Thank you. Yes, we're good. I'm good.
Yay. So, we want to thank you again. We want to thank everybody for joining us today. We're going to have all Adam's contact info. Well, pretty much sums it up. We'll just Google it his name in our show notes, and also at ttrnetworking.com. Information there as well. Don't forget to grab your free card at sentoutcards.com/thankful single mama. We look forward to many more conversations to come. Until next time, may your days be filled with authenticity.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Adam. So nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well.
Thank you.